RunDiffusion just came out with 2 new models and they are really beautiful. Hello my friends, how are you doing? I want to show you some images right now. Look at this detail here, like the fur, her hair, the clothing she has with these leather bands in the front, the crown she's wearing. It's like amazing from the details. I really love that, how real everything feels. You almost feel like you can touch these elements. Here's another example with a nurse standing in a hospital. Again, really beautiful elements here. I love the colors, especially this like faint blue that you have in her clothing. Also this light from the side coming on her face and these highlights around the edges is just really beautiful. I also like the face expression because you feel a lot of emotion in there. So it's just overall a very nice image. And here we have another example of a landscape. I love the colors, the soft haze in the background. This is just like these kind of places where you always dream about being, and getting these colors right, especially that blue, that teal tone in the water, is not that easy. And this is like really getting it right. And before we go more into detail, I want to point out here that this is like right hot off the oven. They just announced these new models, and also they're going to have a live event tomorrow where they're going to talk about that. They're going to show more examples of this. This is also going to be on Civet AI, but it is not yet. So one of the developers reached out to me and gave me the 2 models for downloading so I can already test them with Automatic 1111. I'm giving you some advice on how to get better results in this video. Let's get started. So here we have the RunDiffusion page where they are announcing these 2 models, and you can see one of them is for photorealistic images, the other one is for 2.5D images, which means that you have, for example, digital painting, you have concept art, you also have a little bit of 3D effects in there. So let's look at some examples of what you can do with them. This is the photorealistic model, and as you can see, it has a wide range of things it can do, from portraits to architecture, cars, food, landscapes. And it does all of that in a really beautiful way with a lot of detail in there too. And also the color and the lighting look very nice and realistic, but at the same time, not too pushy, not too extreme. On the 2.5D model, again, we see here very nice images. It can do a lot of different styles. It is very good with these kind of ornaments and decorations that you can see here in these example images. Also, that image down here from the mage looks really amazing. And again, this has a lot of range in here and can do a lot of things very nicely. When you scroll down lower on the page, you can see additional examples here. There's also some prompts given here, although this is missing the negative prompt. I will show you in a second a post on Reddit that has the positive and negative prompts in there, so you can try them out. But again, as you can see here, these examples are really beautiful. I love the detail. I love how crisp and sharp everything is. You can see down here that this is already announced to be uploaded to Civet AI, so you can also use it on your private computers, but it is not released on Civet AI at the moment when I'm recording my video, but I'm sure it's going to happen soon because it's already here on the page. Now below that, again, we have several example images here. The quality is really stunning. I love how detailed everything is, and this basically comes very close to what Midjourney can do. And what really impresses me here is the variety of different styles that it can do in a very nice way. For example, here with this futuristic car driving down the road, it looks just very nice as a digital painting. The colors are beautiful. The artistic expression is very nice. Then we have here this landscape in the middle. Again, I really like the colors. I like the composition. I like the details in there. And then right next to it, we have line art, like a pencil drawing. And also that looks very good. Anatomically, it's correct. There's a lot of details in the face, in the eyes, in all of these little intricate elements, but also the artistic expression, the way on how you would actually draw that, where you would put more weight on the lines or less weight to make the lines heavier or softer is also in there. So that's really impressive. Of course, here we have even more examples from different genres, from different subjects. Also, animals are in here. The dog looks really cute. We have a little castle in a bottle that looks very good. The armor of this guy here looks also very impressive, and the food is very, very nice. I'm getting often asked about mock-ups and product images, so that might be very interesting for some of you. Now here I have the Reddit post that I will also link below the video. Again, we have some very stunning results here. I love that car in motion racing through the Alps. Here we have a very nice perspective. Also, look at how correct the perspective is from that barrel, looking along the barrel into the face of that woman. And another very nice portrait with some interesting makeup. Now the interesting thing here though is when you scroll down on that post, among all these messages, you can see here the complete positive prompt and negative prompt. They are pretty long for these examples, but I was told that this is also for the reasoning of stress testing the model to just see how far you can go. But also you can see here the settings that have been used for that, including the seat. As I said, this is not on Civit AI yet, but they have it on their website already. And you can see here that they have different kind of models where you can rent their GPUs, and you can choose from different models that they have uploaded, different kinds of quality, things like that. The pricing looks not too bad. I haven't tried it myself yet, but I will try it in the next days and make a video about their service. Because one thing that is kind of not so great with Google Colab is that you have to click on all these install buttons and stuff. It can be a little bit confusing, a little bit complicated. So maybe this is easier to use. I don't know, but it looks very promising. But now let's have a look at Automatic 1111. As you can see here, I have loaded my photorealistic model, and you can just use it with your normal prompting as usual. Now I've been given some advice here on how to get much better results. One of the advices is to use either the sampling method Euler, or alternatively to that, what also works very well is DPM++ 2SA Keras. Also with architecture, you might want to try LMS to see what kind of results you get from that, or LMS Keras. Another thing here that is interesting, especially with Euler, because usually I use Euler with around 20-25 steps, is to try it with a higher count of steps. Now you can get very good results also with 30 steps, that's quite okay, but I found when, for example, you use 50 steps, the results are getting even better. Then there's another specialty here. You can use this model on higher resolutions. It's not a 2.x model, it's a 1.5 model, but you often get a lot better results when you use a resolution, for example, of 702 by 1024. And another advice that I have been given is to use a low CFG scale. It often gives very nice results at a CFG scale of 4. It doesn't use clip skip, so you don't need to use that. And also for the VAE, you can choose what you want. Although I have seen that the 840,000 VAE is also good with that model, sometimes gives you better colors and more contrast. I also want to show you an alternative method here, because one thing that I found is that sometimes you get a little bit of a grainy structure when it comes to very small repeating patterns in an image. For example, grass, stone, or leaves in a tree. When we look at the Reddit post, when we look here at the settings, you can see that this is using 60 steps, but it is using also a very high CFG scale of 11.5, and that seems to give a really good result here. Also, what this does here is for the rendering, it has a rather small size of 480 by 832 for the rendering of the image. You can see here, this is using the RunDiffusion FX 2.5D model. And another point here that's interesting is Clip Skip 2 with this model for digital art, which makes a lot of sense because a lot of these models, also ref animated, are using Clip Skip 2 to get better results. Now, when we look here at the images that I got from these settings, I got a beautiful racing car. I don't have any problems in here with this kind of grainy pattern, and the upscaling, of course, is also improved from that original image. For example, when you look at the details of the wheels here, but also the lights and other details on the car. Everything looks very nice. And especially here on the road, you don't have any of this grainy pattern in the stone, in the tarmac, and also in the mountain in the background. Everything looks very soft and nice. So that seems to be a good setting to go with to get some good results here. Let me know in the comments what you think about these models. Thank you very much for watching and see you soon. Bye! Oh, you're still here. So this is the end screen. There's other stuff you can watch like this or that. It's really cool. And yeah, I hope I see you soon. Leave a like if you haven't yet. And well, yeah,